All right, David, I've got a question for you. When folks are coming to me saying, hey, I want to buy a home, but I'm still a year or two away, what are things that they can be doing in the meantime to be ready to then buy a home and have that pre-approval for the price point that they want?
I think the most important thing is for us to have a conversation over the phone. You know, where are you going? Where would you like to be? And it's not necessarily to pull a credit report at that point. I'll ask, are there things that I need to know about, or maybe someone might have a bankruptcy or foreclosure or something like that. And I think the idea is part of the pre-approval process, but it's kind of pre-approval light. Where do you want to go? When do you want to go there? If you had in mind like a duplex or something like that, here's how much you have to save down. Here's how much the closing costs are, just ballparking it, things like that. And I'll tell people what they need to look at and how to proceed from there. And again, I'm probably going to look look for a higher loan amount and purchase price than they want, just so they can have an idea of what's going on.
Got it. Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, Garrett, as a millennial, what would you say that are really important things that people in your generation look for, well, in a realtor, but also in the process?
Yeah, I would say for all of us, when we're looking to pick a realtor, it's really about can the realtor, can they be ahead of me on what the questions I should be asking, and will they communicate the way that I want to communicate, whether it's through text or email or phone call on here's what I want to see, this or that, and also too, especially can the realtor work 24 hours, 7 days a week, really, where that they're ahead of me on what we need to be, so I'm not having to drag along the realtor that I pick.
Tris, how long is it taking in our market today for the investor to buy a 2, 3, or 4 unit? They're in tight supply on the market. How do you help those people sort out the good ones from the not so good offer?
Patience, stick to your guns. I don't, too many times I see people, they get frustrated because they want to be able to perform on maybe the first offer or second offer. And I know Ellen does a lot of investment clientele as well, but for me, it may happen in the second offer, it may take 15 different tries, but the thing is you got to stay true to your process and what you're looking for and what you're after. And it will happen. People that are impatient will not navigate today's market. People that are very timely and extremely quick and impatient can navigate a recessionary market just fine. So but you got to stay true to your guns.
Yeah, patience is a big one, whether you guys are having to deal with it or I'm having to deal with it. A lot of people want it now.
Yep.
And
It's okay for it to take 2 hours for a phone call to be returned or paperwork or whatever. Nothing's that quick, but we're definitely in a climate right now where there's a sense of urgency and speed to it, and it's good and bad. It is what it is. Garrett, I got one for you.
Go for it.
So, and this touch on the millennial thing. Is it okay for the Generation X, which is me, okay, to communicate to the millennial crowd in a different way? Do we ask permission for that? Because there's always talk in the market of the levels of communication. We're a phone call generation, right, guys? And Garrett, your generation is more of a text generation. So what's the thought there?
Yeah, I mean, I would say the phone call thing is fine, but also you have to remember that if I'm a millennial first-time home buyer and you're my realtor that I pick, I want you to talk, how I want to be talked to. So it's fine if you say, hey, I only do phone calls, I don't do text. Then I'll work around that. But I want you to at least ask me first, saying what's the best way to communicate with you, because it is good to sometimes to have stuff on text or email so that I can see it, in writing and go back to it. Where a phone call, things can get misinterpreted. So the only thing I would ask from a Generation X realtor to a millennial buyer would be, remember that I'm the client, and you should ask me the best way to communicate.
Okay, good point.
Ellen, can you mention a couple things about the inspection report? Your clients are talking about them all the time. What's important and what is just an inspector wanting you to know all the minutiae that maybe isn't important?
Sure. Inspections, the inspector always finds something wrong with the house or a property. That's his job, always find something. So my advice is to just concentrate on the real important stuff, like the roof, or if there's any water leaks or foundation. Just to concentrate on the main parts of it and ask the seller to get those taken care of during escrow.
What are the most common things that you guys see happen in inspections? I mean, what are the inspectors over and over and over and over again finding, generally speaking? I know that's a broad-based question, but what's the top three? Let's as a group decide what the top three is. How about that?
I'd say water intrusion,
Yeah, okay, great.
definitely.
Yeah,
And-
bathroom floor, right?
Could be bathroom floor, could
Yeah.
be if there's a crawl
Sometimes.
space down below where there was water leaking in from the outside, or bad gutters that have then caused it to come down the siding of the house.
Yeah.
So-
Bad roof too, right?
Yeah, not enough
Yeah.
ventilation in the attic,
Yeah,
not
okay.
enough vents
Okay.
in the roof.